Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Is everyone doing all right? After lunch, this is like almost the graveyard session, but we'll try our best, right? So if you feel anyone, if you're sleepy, you fall asleep, don't snore, just to help us out, okay? All good? Can you hear me? Can't hear myself, but can you hear me? Yes. Loud and clear. Good, great. Okay, welcome again. How many of you here, I just want to have a show of hands, actually use e-wallet? So, you want to take a photo? You should take a. Can I have your hands raised again? E-wallet, any sort of e-wallet. Don't be shy. Just raise your hands.
Actually, all of them are using it. I'll tell you the reason why later.
There you go.
100% of you, I bet, are using it.
Stick around, all right? So 100%. What we see right now is 90%.
I bet.
Right now, but you bet 100%, so stick around for that answer. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to allow the panelists to just introduce themselves really quickly, okay, for our benefit. Tell us your name, which company you're representing, all right, what position, and where's the last place you use your e-wallet at? Anyone first? Lady first.
So hi guys, my name is Tara and I represent XIXILI Intima, and we are a lingerie retailer and we accept e-payments at our offline stores. The last place I actually used my e-wallet, well I used a friend's e-wallet yesterday to get a discount just last night.
Hi everyone, can you hear me right? Yeah, CC from Fave. I use it pretty much every day, maybe as much as Nikhil. So I use it just now at Botanica & Co.
Hi, my name is Nikhil. I'm Regional Marketing Director for Razr Payee, and also I'm the country head for Razr Payee. And we have just started in Malaysia, and this month we have started in Singapore as well. And so in our office, most of the things are digital. So even our lunch, it's actually the digital coupons that we get in our app. So that's like a 15 ringgit coupon that we have to redeem it by end of the day. Otherwise, it will get expired, right? So that's how I'm like, to have my daily meal, I have to use the e-wallet.
No choice.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Nazroof. I'm from Billplz. Billplz is a fair payment platform to help you pay and get paid fastest at the lowest cost possible. So the last time I pay using e-wallet is via a Grab here.
Okay, great. Again, my name is Daryll. I'm co-founder of Openminds. My last usage of my e-wallet was just 1 hour ago. I use e-wallet quite a lot, and I'm very frustrated when people do not accept at least a credit card. Someone laughed at me the other day. I paid 6 ringgit using my credit card. She literally laughed at me, but she still let me go through with the transaction. Okay? Not going back there again. Okay, so to kick off, I'm just going to explain really quickly just to get us all in the same boat, right? What an e-wallet is, a technical definition, right? E-wallet is an online prepaid account used to store money and transact online and offline through a computer or a smartphone whenever required. It's a pre-equipped electronic wallet, which, just like a real wallet, is used by the customers to transact immediately and securely, right? But of course, from Billplz later on, we also hear that 100% of us actually do use some form of e-wallet, right? Okay, so very quickly, we're going to go a bit light first, okay, to the panelists. So any one of you, the first question is, of course, maybe from a consumer side, right? Why is it important for us to use e-wallets, both from a consumer and maybe from a merchant perspective as well? Why is it important right now in this day and age to use an e-wallet? Anyone?
Maybe I'll start first, yeah. So I always keep on saying this, is all this while wallet has been always about spending, right? We actually take out the wallet when we have to spend and all that. The e-wallet has actually brought the concept of saving as well. It's not only about that, okay, and you are not tracking it, just spending over here. Some of the times people use it from the discount perspective, from points perspective, from security perspective, cashback perspective. There are like different perspectives that people are using it for. And it's also a kind of discovery engine. Today, right now, you do not know what is happening where exactly, but right now, instead of Google, people are actually opening up the e-wallet where all the things are listed. A sad part is it's still limited to a lot of only F&B and the big spaces. That's why it's still a long way to go. And we have still not taken that info from the consumers that where exactly they would like to use it. I think bill payments telco top-ups. These are the more cases which are like making the customer sticky, right? Yeah.
So you're talking more from an added value point of view, other services that people can use, and then of course on the back end you can track, and that tracks behavior or certain type of interest as well as you use e-wallet, right? Okay, anyone else would like to add on?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so I think the way I look at it is, I think the word of easier, cheaper, better, faster, right? So I think the way you look at it, let's say today you're at a restaurant or any retail place, you want to pay. What are the things that can do to make it faster? I think to me that is key. And so can any solution today, let's say traditionally you give a cash, the cashier find the change and pass you back the change. Credit card, let's say above 200 ringgit, they give you the card, swipe, they have to key in the amount, then they swipe, and then plug in, and then basically you pass you the key in the PIN code, and then wait for it to receive the printout, and then you're done. So then today most of the QR solution is either the consumer scanning or the merchant scanning, right? So I think the question would be, so for us is, can I make it saving time? If I can save time, then there's a value. So that's it, faster, right? And then cheaper. I think what Nikhil talked about in the values, right? That bring, I think each of it do slightly different. So for Fave Pay, we are merchant first solution. So we focus on giving the cashback back to the same shop. So for every brands to be able to enable, they do the cashback back to the same locations. So I think those are the cheaper, right? And then faster, easier. So I think easier, cheaper, better, faster. So I think would be the 4 key.
Almost very Chinese, like Peng Leng Cheng like that. He loves to use it. Just to clarify something really quickly, okay? A lot of people also say Fave may not be an e-wallet. How true is that and why?
Yeah, we are not an e-wallet, we are merchant services platform. So what we do is, for us, is how do you get consumer businesses easier to accept payments? So today, okay, sorry. The live streaming, so I need a microphone for that. Yeah, so for, let's say for example, payment, right? So for us, whether people pay for credit cards, whether pay from various e-wallets, whether pay from AirAsia Big Points, online banking. So for us, it's convenience of payment across to the merchants. And I think that as we go on, we're building more solutions. For us, we don't want to build a e-wallet, because e-wallet basically, I think what Daryll mentioned is basically money you need to top up. Maybe a question for everyone here, right? How many of you love to do the action of topping up money? How many of you use e-wallet and go to a place and suddenly you want to pay, you have not enough money, you actually have to do second step, top up, and then pay. So we think that most people in this region don't love to do top up. So we decided that we won't do it, enable credit cards. And why most e-wallets, the credit card fee is unfortunately still higher, because Visa Master make the fee, the acquiring bank make the fee, the payment gateway make the fee, and the issuing bank make the fee, right? So there's basically multiple layers. That's why credit card cost is much higher. But I think for us, the goal is to make it, democratize it. So let's say today you can use Boost inside Fave. In Singapore, you can use GrabPay inside Fave. So for us, we work with those. We see e-wallet as basically make it cheaper, faster to pay.
Okay, thanks, Chen. Maybe from a merchant standpoint, right, Tara, can you explain to us?
So there's a big difference from the merchant standpoint. For the customers, you're talking about savings. From the merchant side, when e-wallets first came onto the market, they definitely disrupted the market. We had to pay MDR rates to credit cards, and they were quite high. So when we have e-wallets come on board, they disrupted that, and they've shifted all the MDR rates. But also in terms of for a merchant, we onboarded with Fave. We were one of the first retail merchants to come on board, and we took that as a first step to bring technology into our stores. And it's not just about the consumer's experience in your stores to use technology, but it's also how do you train your frontline brick and mortar teams how to use technology. And so Fave was a very easy step in for them to figure out how to do these payments and to trust that money is being transferred over this mobile phone, to then be able to bring in more technology solutions into our stores.
Okay, great, thank you.
So from Billplz perspective, we are agnostic in nature, so we don't have any preference. From our statistic, we process about 2.53 million ringgit every single day. Easily 70% goes to online banking, 29% goes to cards, and only 1% goes to wallet, i.e. Boost, at this point in time on our platform. So we are agnostic in that sense. The only reason why I would bet people are paying via Boost right now is because of their crazy incentives, right? Which is, and also coupled with the fact that they do not charge any MDR at the moment. So they are basically absorbing all the costs, and that's what the hype. That's why the hype is created, right? So I just want to go back in history to tell you the evolution of e-wallets, right? So let's start with the creation of banking, right? So you have banknotes that people carry around to share among merchants and consumers that, hey, I have money in a bank, right? And then we move on, and out come a CASA, current account, saving account. And that's why I say 100% of you already have a form of e-wallets in the form of Maybank to You, CIMB Clicks, RHB Now, etc., etc. And now the third evolution is called e-wallets. So it's not my place to say whether it's going to go boom or bust, but as long as the merchant wants it, and the merchant is dependable on the acceptance of consumers, then yeah, a platform like us will, of course, provide the integration.
Okay, great, thank you. So we learned a lot of the importance. I think we touched a lot of why is it important. I think to many of you, you already know the importance and the benefits and of course the cashback that you get, right, using e-wallets. Now jump straight into, maybe this for Nikhil and also Chen Chow. You know, in general, typically there are three groups of people, right? The ones that, you know, I actively use 5 to 10 different types of e-wallets, depending on which one gives the best returns, right? I'm one of them. And then the one that I will stick to cash and credit card, kind of a group. You know, I don't touch e-wallets, I feel it's not secure, I just want to use cash and credit card. And of course, the ones that I have no clue what e-wallet is all about, right? How are e-wallet companies encouraging each group to start using or use more e-wallet for transaction or their daily lives?
Okay, so I'll position Razer's stand on from a different angle. So Razer has been the leading lifestyle gaming brand, right? And if you look at it, in last 2 years, all the e-wallet and the mobile top-up things have happened. But in the last 13 years, what we have seen is a gamer has always been on the mobile and he's pretty much used to do the online top-up process. We did not have to, when we launched Razr Pay, we did not have to go on ground and educate our user base. So we are very much committed to our core base that, hey, this is the audience who starts at maybe 3 years old, 15, or maybe on paper, let's say youth and millennial, 15 to 34-year age bracket. They are already committed or they are already aware about the process, how to do the top-up for the games and all that. And in our case, what happened was that a gamer is not only doing the top-up for games, but he's drinking Starbucks as well. He's actually shopping at 99 Speed Mart as well. He's actually doing the bill payments as well. He's doing the top-ups as well. In future, maybe that youth and millennial who will be the future audience who want to go for student education loan or maybe car insurance loans and all that. And I can actually look into that area to incentivize them or to actually reward them or something. So we are very much committed to that base. Another part is we came to Southeast Asia quite late. So it was already #1 in Razer as a brand in US, Europe, and China. And 2 reasons of coming pretty late over here. One is because we were not cheap. And second is because of internet. And that's why, but when we, from the hardware, we moved to the software, we actually made our software for free, the Razer. And we realized that in a couple of years, we got around 60 million registered user base. So then we realized that, okay, hey, these are the people, again, they are aware about it. You just have to expand the use cases and you just have to go over there. Once I win in that territory or sector, then it makes sense to go beyond that. But another thing which we saw was that people who wanted to buy those expensive products, they were asking their parents, hey, I want to buy the Razer mouse and all that 200 ringgit. Right. So the parents also got used to it. A best example is WhatsApp. Initially, when you were using WhatsApp, people were like, moms and dads were like, they were sending MMS, and what did kids do? They actually became like an influencer who went to their mom and dad and they, can you please stop sending me MMS? It costs me. Can you please download the WhatsApp and do that?
Right.
So that's the positioning that, okay, if you are working on that base, they are the one who become your evangelist, who go to the elder generation, who are downloading the app for them, and they say, please transfer money like that.
Right.
So it starts with that segment, and then you go to the another base.
Right, very clever. I guess you're just advocating your crowdsourcing certain areas to also gain that access into customer acquisition. Ultimately also skimming the perimeter of all the other possible transactions, not just retail and food, but if you would, all of us would imagine we pay bills, right? You buy movie tickets, for example, lifestyle, those areas are actually covered, even including insurance, all the way to insurance.
In fact, I would say, let's say, if I'm calling myself a e-wallet for youth and millennial, Can I actually look into the student section and help them to go for a student education loan? Right. Can I help them to, every Malaysian is under debt because of the car and all that. Can I look into it where they get incentivized when they pay for the car EMI? Can I incentivize them when they are actually going for the insurance for the car and all that? So you have to cover the life cycle, where exactly the behavior of a youth is, and then you just have to go and work with the government, companies and all that, and incorporate that case into your e-wallet. So eventually then, like what Chen said, it becomes a platform. It's not a wallet. You do not take out wallet again and again. If it is a platform, then it's a good win for you.
Platform, okay, it's key, it's a platform. Okay, Chen, how about you?
Yeah, so I think for us, we are a merchant platform, right? We're not a consumer platform. So the customer that we look at is not Fave customers. So the customer that we are serving is our 25,000 merchants customer. So let's say XIXILI's customer. How do we get people, so think of it, the same concept of that, but how do you get people to buy on XIXILI for the first time? How do you get people who bought XIXILI for the first time to buy more frequently? And then after that, how do you get them to build the full habit, right, on it? And then after that, going through the next wallet. So think of it as what we are trying to sort of do is think of the good old days, the paper voucher in newspaper, replacing that, we have the deals. Those loyalty cards or some companies try to get people to download the apps. But the challenge is how many people will take how many pieces of those loyalty cards? Maybe Starbucks card. Those active drinkers will take a Starbucks card, but most people would not take a Starbucks card, right? Maybe the Starbucks is still big brands, but think of a smaller brand. People are not going to hold that brand cards, right? Maybe each person will only have maybe 5 pieces of those loyalty cards. And let's say single brand app. How many apps you're going to download? Maybe if you love Nando's, maybe you download a Nando's app, but you maybe at most is 2-3 apps that you're going to download. So that does not serve the fan-sitter occasional drinker, right? Occasional customer. So I think for us, how do we enable that feature that people serve in those, but enable everyone to do that? So let's say for XIXILI, instead of building an app on its own, or instead of issuing their own card, how can we work with XIXILI to serve their customers? And the same thing repeat, right? Let's say for Starbucks, today, the Starbucks card will hit the super active Starbucks drinker. But today, those people, even with no discount, no cashback, nothing, these people will buy Starbucks anyway. But today, how would they influence the fan-sitter? People that actually drink, just want to drink coffee, I don't care the brand. Right? And I think this kind of cashback will shift. Let's say Yeoh, what we work with them is that increasing the frequency of people taking Yeoh during weekdays. And what we see the effect, it happens a lot near the office towers. So at KLCC, if you give some cashback, they'll come back and take it more days during their sneak out from office, 3 p.m., 4 p.m. coffee, right? Let's say we in the office area, we do the smart cashback, and after 3 p.m., cheaper lunch. And we see a lot of people now shift their lunchtime to 3:30 p.m. because that's where they get 20% off lunch, right? So, and what we do is because in office areas in Bangsar South, the lunchtime, all the restaurant is full anyway. So now you can ship out some of these customers and bring them at 3:30. This helps them to earn more revenue. So I think a lot of it, we start from that and work backwards.
Very good. I think you're really altering certain behaviors. So your e-wallets, be careful in that sense, right? It's kind of like unknowingly altering some behavior. Just very quickly also from Tara's end and also from Nazroof, if from a merchant's end as well, right? You work with a lot of merchants. If you could have an ideal situation with the e-wallets, right? What is an ideal business terms with them, or what can you grab up more from them?
Okay, so at the moment, we all understand e-wallets are all about incentivizing consumers. The real end winner at this point are the consumers. We have cost savings that we end up giving to consumers because we have to have cashbacks to be able to be on board on Fave. But the reason for all these cashbacks is to create that stickiness. We're not there yet. We're not at a full stickiness level. And as we're trying to compile a bunch of lifestyle brands, so we sell lingerie. How often will you go out and buy bras and panties in a year? But how often will you buy coffee in a year or lunch? So at that point, when you put it all into one platform like Fave, you're able to alter and convince people of certain consumer behaviors and to create that stickiness level. And so ideally, we get back to a point where consumers get the added benefit of either convenience or an experience rather than just cost savings, because that drives down everyone's margins in the end.
So I would suggest, so there's 2 types of wallet, right? So there's closed loop, there's open loop, right? So the difference is open loop is basically like Boost, Razer Payee, where you can use it anywhere, right? Closed loop is more internal. Think of closed loop like vouchers, right? So one way I would suggest merchants is think about closed loops instead of just open loops, right? So at Billplz, we have a closed loop prepayment system. I'm an accountant, so I hate, basically I hate running after my merchants to pay up. So that's why I make sure that everyone that wants to use Billplz have to prepay X amount, minimum 2 ringgit. So usually the average amount would be about 500 ringgit. So what happens is that basically it's a form of e-wallet. It's a closed loop e-wallet. So what that benefits me is basically loyalty. Most importantly is lowering my debtors days to almost 0, right? So because I got it, I convinced them to pay upfront, right? So think about that. So that's something that might be beneficial in your business to have a closed loop wallet system. Yeah.
Okay, great. Because of time, we will now look a bit further out. We talk a lot about consumers, B2B, B2C, right? Let's talk more about the government, right? So how's the government regulating e-wallets right now, or what do you think should be in place and it's not in place yet? Anyone?
Yeah. So I think our government is pretty pro supporting digitalization or cashless, right? So I think there's a lot of initiatives building there. I think generally the engagement has been very positive building towards it. I think one way could maybe even further enhance could be like Singapore, right? So what Singapore does, interestingly, is that as long as you don't break the law, you just innovate and do it. You don't even need to check the government. If you break the law, government will hunt you down. So that's how Singapore style of doing it.
Do first.
Yeah, so you just do. It's your job to make sure you follow the rules, right? So, and that basically cut short even further the timing. I think here the government are working close because there are so many fintech players, right? Not just e-wallet, but all the players. Right now, it's all going in. I think they're working extra hours to clear through all the innovation. But maybe one way is even open further and say, it's your job to comply, right? You just go out and try.
Right.
I think like in the beginning when you asked that how many people use e-wallet, right? 2 years back, when the same question used to be asked, everyone was like, I don't know. I don't think Malaysia is ready. So people were like, no belief. And a lot of time, even when we used to meet the merchants, they were like, not sure. And I come from India. So in India, if I have to ask for one thing, so what happened in India was when demonetization happened, the government said that, hey, they did for merchant that if you are going digital, which could be Fave or e-wallet and all, they incentivize the merchants by giving some rebate on their GST or SST. Last year when elections happened in Malaysia, I hope that no one kills me after this. Last year when elections happened in Malaysia, the government was like, hey, vote for us or maybe we'll waive off GST. Ideally, it should have been done that, hey, if you go digital, we will give 3% rebate on the SST or GST and all that. Then every merchant would have been like, okay, hey, I want to go digital because it improves transparency. It reduces corruption. Government is supporting to that. And then when merchants are also educating that, it becomes easy for the consumers. It's pretty good when the governments actually talk about each other, that how actually happened in China or how happened in India and in Singapore and now in Malaysia. I think we are still at that stage. Good work done by the BNM and the regulatory bodies and all that, but still a lot of things to be done. And also when I say it, like in 2 years, we have accepted the fact, but we are still trying to figure out or finalize the fate that what will happen. It's still beginning. It's very nascent stage. Let the things get figured out after 4 or 5 years or something. It will be totally different. We might not be even thinking about it right now, right? So government or corporates or consumers and all that, we are still in the brainstorming phase. What should be the best one thing?
Very good, fantastic. So we know it's almost a free market for all right now. You just do first and then it will be followed up then, right? Something would happen. You have regulatories in place and hopefully not too stringent. It will be still encouraging to us to go digital. Last question before we take questions from the floor. And if you don't know yet, you all can put your questions into Slido. So this question is rather unique. Tell us a bit more about, which e-wallet do you feel, right? Which e-wallet do you feel will rise to be the champion in the next 3 to 5 years? I know some of you are from your own e-wallet company.
Yeah.
But why? Why a certain e-wallet or what type of e-wallet will rise and be the champion in the next 3 to 5 years?
So is it just Malaysia or worldwide?
It's good to hear from local, and if you have information, then you can also talk about international.
So if you look at the smallest bank in Malaysia, say, I don't know, on top of my head, Affin Bank, right? They make 500 million net profit, 2018, right? So you put all the fintech in Malaysia, pull all their net profit together, that's me, that's Fave, that's Razer Payee Malaysia, probably just the Malaysia division, I don't know about the Singapore division. Put Alipay Malaysia division, all the Malaysia's division under one pool, I can bet you we will not hit 500 million net profit. End of story. Negative likelihood, right? So with that perspective in mind, right, there's only one serious play that's, I need to analyze this thing because this is my play, right? So there's only one serious play that you can consider. The banks, specifically digital bank, which, guess what, recently just opened application in Malaysia, will buy this wallet player, right? So it will be part of a banking environment. It won't be a standalone product because they cannot survive. It's just impossible to survive. Because if you look at the banking profit margin, it's always in the loan business that they make their killing. Transactional revenue is never their play. It's just nice to have. So my take on it is just a matter of time before they will be acquired by digital banks specifically.
Nikhil?
So everyone has their own playbook, right? It's good because they all are operating on some sort of database and all that. I can only talk about from my perspective, where today we are doing the online gateway. We are doing the B2C, which is the Razer Payee e-wallet and all. We have just disclosed the partnership with Visa, where the target market is underserved and unbanked market. And not only within this region, but globally. Because we are a global company, so which means a person who has a wallet and who has a prepaid, means already money installed in it, you have a physical card, which is a Razer branded, and it can be used worldwide anywhere. So I see an edge over there that, okay, hey, this makes sense. And of course, then like what you said, these are the directions to go into the digital banking space, which is a much more bigger picture, not this platform to actually discuss about. But then you say, okay, what are you doing? You're doing online gateways, working with B2B, all the companies, you're powering the payment solutions, you're doing the physical stores where a person can go to 7-Eleven and can do the cash top up and get the credits in the, straight away. You are doing the e-wallet as well, you have become the card issuer as well, and which has a brand value to it. And on top of that, of course, like I said, we intend to become a platform where the biggest another difference is, which a lot of e-wallets and all that, everyone is actually looking to acquire the customer. From our sense, we are looking to send our customers to the merchants. So for example, I look forward that, okay, hey, why should I not integrate with Fave and send my traffic base, because I have a base of customers who literally do not have debit card, credit card. Shopee do not have that base of customers who do not have debit card, credit card. Lazada do not have all those stuff. All the players do not have it, but I have that base. That's why Visa is saying, hey, I want to tap on that base where you have that audience and I want to issue cards to them. And it makes sense for us that, hey, my customers should be transacting on that. I host a mini app of Fave on my platform, and we have a working relationship. And at the end of the day, yes, it's not about who will win. I think we all will be winning because we all will be actually moving the players. Right. A person comes from here, goes to Fave app, transact at XIXILI, payment processings are happening, sorted.
Perfect. It's a whole ecosystem here right now. Any answers from Chen, Chow, and Tara?
Yeah, so I think if you look at it, right, let's take, I think, let's say banks, right, bank accounts, and maybe credit cards. Let's look at credit cards, right? Today, there are maybe more than 10, we have 10 local banks and maybe a bunch of foreign banks. There are maybe 15 banks that are issuing credit cards at large scale. We don't say that credit card business is at a huge competition. Right? If you think of it today, credit card transactions will go down. Banking, ATM transactions will go down. ATM, withdraw money, right? But today, e-wallet, yes, there are 30, 40 e-wallets. But how many serious players? Maybe there's a 5 or 6, right? So I think there's typically the same name, right? The 5 or 6 names that we all hear about. So within these 5 or 6, the pie is all growing. I think you can look at every player. Everyone is 20, 30, 50% month-on-month growth, right? All players are growing. It's just who grow faster. But all of us are still significantly smaller than all the credit cards and the banks, right? So the potential is just way upper. And I think everyone will have a different play. Let's say, for example, for us, we focus fully on how do we help merchants to grow their revenue, cut the costs. If we can do it, we'll go through, right? Let's say, example, table ordering. So restaurants today cannot get workers. So we issued table ordering where you can scan the menu and the menu appear on Fave app and then just order. So for an average restaurant can cut 2 workers, right, on that. And basically if you can scale it up. So for us, it's basically work with businesses to how do we focus on their part. And every business will let's say Razer focus on gaming, Grab focus on transportation as a core. So each of them will have a slightly different play, but I think the market is huge, way, way bigger. Today, total e-wallet transactions, if you add it up, I think not even 10% of Malaysians are, maybe even 1% or 2% of Malaysians are using it every day. The market is just easily 50, 100 times more potential to grow. It's just how can we change everyone to use every single time.
Okay, thank you. Tara, do you have anything to add?
So essentially, I do believe that it's all going to converge at some point. Your money should be with the bank or in your investments. That's where your money will grow. It will not grow in a top-up card or in your phone. So that's where you got to maintain it. And it's we also went on board with Fave because they charged your credit card. So essentially, you're getting charged by your bank a month later when your credit card statement comes out. And it comes down to what segment you perform in. So at XIXILI, our average basket size is a bit higher. It's not at your mobile top-up rates. So we're looking at about 200 ringgit. So at that point, most people would want to transact that on their credit card, not on a cash or debit card basis, which is why we chose to go with Fave. And the added value of the mobile payment that you go with, whether it's a marketing value or the convenience of, that is what I think will cause us to win out.
Right. Thank you. So because of time, again, we have some questions on Slido, maybe 2 minutes, give us 2 minutes, yeah. So there are 2 trending questions. Okay, number 1, I guess a lot of people want to know, we have a lot of e-wallets going on in your mobile, probably 5 to 6. So the first question is, there's too much e-wallet in Malaysia comparing to China, of course. Is that a possibility of a JV within all those e-wallet company? Because of time, I think probably we split. Maybe Nazroof and Nikhil, you can take this question, and then we'll go on to the second question for Chen, Chow, and Tara after that.
Sorry. I'm not the one who's signing the JV deals behind it, but I don't see it as a concern. When we had like so many banks coming up a few years back, no one had a question with why, hey, Maybank ATM machine is there, why HSBC ATM machine is required, why all these things are required, right? They all were actually developing the ecosystem, and they were all working on the innovative solutions. It's, again, I say, it's still very early stage. We are trying to actually define and kill the innovation part that, hey, okay, wallet made, done, that's it. No, it's not about wallet. Have we actually become platform? Not yet. Give it a time. Once these things become into platform, a matured stage, they work like a Google search engine where people these platforms become influencers who are actually changing the behavior. And when we have like 100% people who are saying that, hey, we are addicted to this system, then we say that, okay, hey, now time to actually consolidate or maybe use our own energies together, maybe to improve your marketing dollar efficiency, maybe to gap onto the bigger base and all that. That's where it will come in. Maybe after 1 or 2 years, that will be a more heated topic to discuss about.
In Malaysia context, yeah, they are working on something, especially PayNet is working on something, real-time processing network. So regardless of which wallets, which banks you're on, you can transact in real time. So yeah, the government is doing something about it.
There would just one more question, yeah? Just one more question. We'll go with the, I don't know what you all want to hear. Actually, they're two head-to-head. But let's go with TNG, right? So will TNG dominate the whole of Malaysia? Because again, I think they have a huge number of user base, and because of how a lot of us here drive, I guess. So will TNG dominate the whole Malaysia? If yes, what's the next for other e-wallet companies to survive? Or in fact, to collaborate, or what happens?
Okay, so maybe I'll do, instead of me answer being biased, right? I'm going to ask the audience, right? So when I read the name of the e-wallet related companies, you raise your hand if you use it in June this month, right? Okay, I will start with Razer Payee, Fave, Boost, Grab, WeChat Pay, Maybank QR Pay, Touch and Go. And Touch and Go is not the toll, huh? I'm talking about the pay at merchant. Let's try again. Touch and Go at merchant. Okay, so I think you guys see the numbers. Yeah.
Just want to add it. But I'm just thinking, I just overheard something. What if government decides tomorrow to take off the tolls? Then how many are going to stay addicted to touch and go? Right? Maybe it's still in the, I think, West Malaysia, not in the East Malaysia or something. Or also say, I'm not a local, so I might be wrong over here, but how many outside KL people are actually using that, it's a behavior for that. So again, it's a very, it's because we are in KL, so we are thinking from that angle, but I'm just thinking, okay, I would like tolls to, maybe one question in the CC style, how many of you would want to pay tolls for next 10 years as well? No one would say yes.
Wants to pay tolls.
Right? So if you want to waive toll, maybe tomorrow they say, okay, waive toll, waive, then everyone, again, due respect, but yes, the playbooks are there. But again, we have to be prepared about all these situations as well.
Okay. Thank you very much. Again, sorry because of time. There are actually some promo codes from Fave and XIXILI, specifically to Fave. So for the two people who asked those questions, right? If you're still in the hall, can they see you later? So they will be around, see both of them. They have specifically one for Fave, for a voucher for you, the person who asked the question, and also a promo code or voucher specifically using through Fave for XIXILI. All right, so the two questions been asked. You guys are here? I'm sure you guys are. So just find them after this when they go down on stage, introduce your name and claim your voucher, okay? Please be honest. Please be honest, and only the person who asked that question and not thought about the question, okay? Ask this question that went up there. Okay, so again, thank you very much. Have a round. Oh, yes.
And the generic promo code for everyone, EEC 2019.
EEC 2019. So you just type that in whenever they make a purchase on Fave. There you go. So thank you very much, everyone. Can I have a round of applause?
And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was the Infinity Wars of e-wallet. Our moderator once again, Daryll Tan, our panelists, Nazroof, Hakim, Nikhil, Khandelwal, Yeoh, Chen, Chow, and Tara Tan. Thank you so much.